Alright guys, it's day number 79 and today I decided to record this video even later than yesterday. I mean, it's 6 p.m. but I'm not that tired, I'm not that, exhausted, so I have some efforts to talk about, but who cares anyway, I have to do it. Like, no matter that I have some strength, probably I don't, so anyway I have to record those videos, like, yeah, until at least 100 days. And by the way, I was thinking about it, probably I would take a break for several days and just to think about an idea of what could I do instead of those instead of this 100 days challenge, because as I mentioned, like, I really want to continue practice my English despite of everything, and it's the best way to do it, like, literally regularly and every single day. So until at least to that time when I have to pass an exam, I want to continue with those videos, to trying to use probably new vocabularies that I'm learning. However, it's really hard because when I'm speaking, I don't really think about words that I have to say. Uh, I I pronounce them automatically, but when I learn new words, I really need to look for them in my mind, so it's pretty hard to use those words. But never mind. So, alright, let's get started and let's talk about home and accommodation. I do have a topic, so let's talk about your home. I don't really want, but I don't have another topics because I have two more topics except this one, and it's kind of strange. All those three topics about my home, hometown, and stuff like that. So, do you live in a house or an apartment? I live in an apartment, and during whole my life I was living in an apartment. Like, I remember only first 4 years of my life I was living in a house. Then we moved. We like I with my parents, we moved to another city and we had an apartment, and I've been living in apartments for 15 years. So, can you describe the place where you live? No. Can I answer this question like no? Because it's a regular apartment, like nothing special, because I had much more better apartment in Ukraine, and this one isn't that good as I had in Ukraine, because when me and my parents arrived at Belgium, we needed to find an accommodation, and we needed to do it in a rush, like, so we hadn't a bunch of time to look for suitable accommodation. We just took the first one that we could, and it's pretty quiet. It's not even that quiet place, because there are some noise from time to time. Every morning I wake up because of noise, and I don't know, there's nothing to describe. Like, how can I describe a place where I live? Like, there are some trees in front of my apartments. There are a road and another apartments, so there are sidewalks, some crosswalks, and some landmark. By the way, here's some landmark. I don't know what's that, but there are some flags of different countries and stuff like that. So, alright, how long have you lived there? I've been living in this apartment for 3 years, I guess, a bit less, like 2 years and 11 months. So, alright, I got interrupted. So I was talking that I've been living for 2 years and 11 months in this apartment, and I hope soon I'll leave this place, and that's why I'm learning English, because if I will be able to enroll in the university, I will move to another city, I will live in another apartment. So, yeah, I need to grind my English for the following 25 days until I pass my exam, as I mentioned a bunch of times. I've mentioned about it, who cares? Alright, let's move on. And who do you live with? I live with my family. There are my mother, father, and my siblings. It's my little brother and little sister. And usually it's a bit annoying and fascinating to, yeah, like, let me check fascinating, meaning I sometimes I know some English words. No, it's not fascinating. I forgot the word. Alright, so it's kind of annoying. And usually I can't study properly because of the distraction of my siblings, but I almost taught them that they can't just enter in my room into my room without my permission. Yeah. Alright, so what part of your home do you like the most? Why? It's hard to say because in this apartment I can't say that I really enjoy something. No, the only thing, by the way, I have huge windows in my apartment. I don't know why, but in Belgium, generally, in each house, in each apartment, you can find pretty tall. Let me check. Tumblers? It's tumblers? Like, it's tumblers? Or what? Nah, it is. Oh. Yeah, high ceilings.
High ceilings.
Alright, high ceilings. No, I just know that it's wall, like, but I know that it's floor under me, but that it's ceilings, like ceilings. Yeah, I didn't know that. So they have pretty tall, pretty high ceilings, and it's the only things that I like because I feel that there are a bunch of space, and it's pretty cool thing. Alright, do you plan to live there for a long period? No. As I mentioned, I would like to enroll in university to leave this place, but if I won't, I don't know, probably I will live here for a half year, and I don't know, we'll see. I don't like to talk about my future because it's so unpredictable, it's so random, and the only thing that I would like to say is that I wouldn't like to live in this place anymore, but still for some time I have to do that, and I can avoid it. Alright, is your neighborhood quiet or lively? Lively? Is this lively or lively? How to read it? Let me check.
Lively.
Lively. I can see that it's really lively, so it's not really quiet place because there's one huge building where that includes also a gym that I'm visiting and a bunch of another stuff, and there are some activities every now and then, and it's kind of cool, but generally there are not a lot of young generation for real, and there are some, but I'm not gonna judge anyone. Alright, so I could say that it's kind of 50-50 because it's not quite place because of a road in front of my window, and it's not a lively place because there are now a bunch of people, young generation, stuff like that. It's kind of boring place, you know what I mean? So I need to go somewhere if I want to meet with someone, if I want to spend some time somewhere. Usually the best choice for me is to live in another country, like when I have a flight in Poland, or tomorrow, by the way, I'm going to Spain. It's great. Yeah, they are much more better, to be honest. And yeah, so alright, let me continue, and it's part 2. It's 10 minutes video, bro. I'm gonna speak faster. So Describe a home you visited and liked, but it wasn't your own. You should say whose home it was, what it looked like, where it was located, and explain why you liked it. All right. The first I picture an apartment in my mind about a friend of mine. It's we are not friends currently, but in the past we were best friends, like pretty close friends, and we lived in the same town, and it was pretty great city. So I had a friend who had a huge apartment. She had about 7 rooms in his apartment. You can imagine, it's without including like kitchen, without including bedrooms, without including balcons. It's just rooms. So it was pretty crazy. His oh my god, let me check. I wrote out these words that I want now to say. Renovation, yeah, he had really great renovation. Like, I had in the place that I've been living mostly during all my life. I feel I had really modern and good renovation, but he had like great one. So I always liked to come to his home and to spend some time there. And usually we were playing some games, and also he had a cat, and I enjoy playing with cats. So it was something incredible for me, and yeah, it was like a huge apartment with renovation, yeah, with a great renovation. And I didn't envy, I didn't jealous, to be honest. I just was surprised that such apartment exists and people live in such places. And it was even a close friend of mine, because I remember, I don't know how that's called, but when. Alright, never mind. So let me move on. I was talking, by the way, for about. I was talking like for 2 minutes, so that's kind of good enough. And let me continue. And I have 7 more questions, bro. Why? Like, lately I do have too much questions. I don't know why, but let me talk. The theme is housing and living conditions. Alright. What kinds of homes do most people in your country live in? I don't know if we're talking about. Bro, I don't really know. I guess it's mostly apartments. Like, I could say houses, but I think mostly apartments for like. There are some places, some people who are still living in houses, and houses kind of great, but mostly there are more apartments, because for example, if there are a place, you can build a bunch of apartments, but only one house. You know what I mean? So at least in this comparison, logically, there are more apartments and people mostly live in apartments. Alright, what are the advantages of living in a house compared to an apartment? And I don't really know, because I'm a person who who's enjoying living in apartments, and I have never wanted to live in a house. But it's kind of cool. Usually you have your own garden, you have your own place, your own space. It's cool because you don't have annoying neighbors who from time to time can be noisy, and it's not really cool, especially when you want to sleep. But I have never faced such troubles, so I'm really enjoying living in an apartment. And yeah, there are of course some advantages of living in a house, but not for me. Like yeah, I've already mentioned about several advantages, so I'm not gonna repeat it. So, do you think people's homes reflect their personalities? By the way, it's a great question. I have never thought about it, not gonna lie, but it seems like mostly yes, not like always, but mostly yes. The more people responsible, the more people work, the more he is able to equip his apartment better with some colors that he enjoy, and for example colors, for example styles that you like really reflect your personality. And if you're like lazy guy who don't like to do something in his life, and you're living in such places like the middle places, and you don't strive for more, it also reflects your personality. Yeah, it's I guess even yes, like not really always, but in 90% I think yes, for real, your homes reflect your personality. At least, is this cleaning your room or no? It's something says about you, like stuff like that. I don't know. It's messy in my room. I'm as harm to talk about it because usually I don't like when it's messy in my room. But alright, never mind. Let me move on. So, is it better to rent or to buy a home in your country? Why? I know that people inclined to buy a house, especially a house, definitely, but an apartment. And I don't know why. Probably it's because it's your own property. You don't depend on anyone, and you are living without any problems. And yeah, probably just mostly, I guess 80%, 70, at least more than 50%. For example, in Ukraine, they have their own apartments or house, and they're living there. So probably I had another question. Is it better? No. Yeah, it's probably better because you have some accommodations that you are able to sell if you have such necessity, and at the same time you don't depend on anyone, and you don't need to pay anyone for living in this place. And yeah, it's kind of cool, but first of all you have to buy an apartment because in different countries there are different prices. For example, in Belgium, to buy an apartment you need about 200,000 euros, whereas in Ukraine you can buy an apartment, the same apartment, with the price like 50, even 40, even less, I guess even less than 40,000 euros. It really depends on the city, but all right, 80,000 euros will be enough to buy a great apartment. All right, how does modern technology change how possible live at homes? I've had enough. Like, to talk about technology, I'm tired. But at least this time, I'm not going to talk about gadgets. I'm going to talk about another stuff like dishwasher. I don't know how does this machine calls, like microwave and stuff like that, allowed us not to cook on your own, but to buy already something cooked and just heat it. Yeah, like just heat it or cook it in the faster way. So due to technology, we don't need to spend a bunch of time and way live at home, not eat at home, because I wanted to say that you are able to order food and you don't need even to cook it. So also you're able to clean your house either. I have a lack of vocabulary to talk about the stuff. It's 20 minutes video, bro. I hate my life. Duster, yeah, duster. Like, due to duster, it's kind of technology, and right, I don't really know. I don't think that technology really had significant impact on how does people's life changed living at home. All right, why do some people move to the countryside or smaller towns to live? By the way, I even know why, because they're tired of all this noise, of all those people. They just want to relax a bit without distraction, to be surrounded with with the nature, to probably to come up with some ideas, probably to chill or to work a bit in silence. And there are some people, I even know some people, so it provides you with cleaner air without any pollution, without traffic congestion, without unknown faces outside that is common when you are going outside in huge cities. There are different people, and sometimes you don't want to see them. So countryside allows you to avoid all those troubles and be on your own, just chilling without any troubles. So let's move on. Do you think people will live differently in the future compared to now? I don't really think so, because I don't think that over the past 50 years something significantly changed. People lived previously in houses, they are living now in houses. They lived previously in apartments, they are living now in apartments. There are some cars, I don't know how that's called. There are some cars with small houses, you know, and probably it didn't really exist a lot in the past. So it's probably a cool thing that has changed, but nothing else, you know. So I can really think about future in 200 years, 500 years, 1000 years. I can try to predict a bit 10, 20 years ahead, and I don't really see some significant changes. Yeah. All right, that's all for today. And oh my gosh, tomorrow I don't know when I have to record this video. Probably I record it again in the evening and in Spain. Probably at home at 5 a.m. I have to wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. Tomorrow I woke up at 10:30 because a courier called in my door. He knocked and I had to wake up to get my parcel. By the way, I bought two new Kubik ropes. However, I had 4x4, 3x4, but I bought it again because they're better. Alright, so that's all for today. Thanks if someone watched it, and see you next time.